They can be waifus now.
This podcast is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Spoiler warning for whatever is in the title of this episode.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share and subscribe. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the Horror of Babylon podcast at gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/thehorrorofbabylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that The Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible and all other major podcast apps.
Welcome to episode 14 of the Treehouse of Horror of Babylon, where we discuss Homerzilla. I am Ryan, and with me as always is Daniel. Say hi, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
And thank you to our patrons, the true kings and queens of monsters. Abigail the First, Breaker of Chains.
Mother of Zillas.
I was going to say Mother of Kaiju. And
Logan.
the full Mecha Godzilla.
Oh, that's good.
The full Mecha patron.
Yeah.
And Ben the Fourth,
Kaiju of Hope.
Kaiju of Hope. And Mia the Fifth, the Rainmaker.
She makes kaijus.
Let's go, kaijus! And Four Horsemen Comics and Gaming, which you can visit at the Morgantown Mall at Morgantown, West Virginia, or the Mall at Robinson in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can also shop online at shop.fourhorsemencomics.com. And if somebody is making inappropriate jokes and it's still 2023, it's probably either Ron or Daniel, but
Yeah, there's a reason I get canceled here in 2 years.
yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Right after the release of my first novel.
You get 2 more years, so that's fine.
Yeah,
And publishing one book is more than most people will ever do, so.
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so we are reviewing Homerzilla, and I had on here our history with Godzilla, but I think we did that in our Bambi Meets Godzilla
Yeah, we did.
episode.
We did do that. So you can just reference that episode.
Yeah, so reference that. Okay, cool.
The vampire's a pure myth, superstition. I may be able to bring you proof that the superstition of yesterday can become the scientific reality of today.
Background: this episode originally aired on October 25th, 2015, so over 8 years ago.
Older than I thought it was.
It is from Treehouse of Horror 26, which is season 27, episode 5. Overall, it's episode 578. The other 2 segments from that episode are Wanted Dead, Then Alive, which we have covered, did an episode on. It's a parody of Reanimator starring Sideshow Bob. And also Telepaths of Glory, which is a parody of the movie Chronicle. This episode was written by Joel H. Cohen, who's a Simpsons veteran who's worked on the show for 23 years since season 12, and was directed by Stephen Dean Moore, who has worked on the show since season 1, and started doing storyboards and worked his way up to directing.
And that's that. Another story in the classic, infallible 3-act structure. Good enough for Aristotle, good enough for The Simpsons.
Mr. Sislak, I have a feeling there's going to be one more act to this story.
Well, I'm not hanging around for that. 4 acts.
Structure and 3 themes. Daniel, what Godzilla tropes do you see in this episode?
You had a few. The biggest one is just, giant monster comes out of the ocean and stomping around.
I love the bubbles. Like, it showed his head, slowly rising, and it had all the bubbles.
Yeah. If you watch a lot of the Japanese Godzilla movies, a lot of times you have, these themes of traditionalism or themes of nature versus modernization. That kind of came into play with Grandpa ceremoniously sending the donut out to sea versus everyone just laughing at him. And of course he's right.
Yeah.
Always trust the old people in a Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Unless it's Shin Godzilla, in which case, don't trust any of the old people.
Yeah. I love the, I forgot what I was going to say.
You also got the, I would call it the commercialization of Godzilla, which is mostly something that people talk about when it comes to, like, the big American remakes.
Yeah, this was a very meta,
it threw me for such a loop. I am so happy.
This is only the third time I've seen this one, and the first time I saw it was very recent. When he walks off that stage and falls.
Spoilers, best joke.
Yeah, that's also my best joke.
Yeah.
From like that point on, and it's like, I like the original American Godzilla, but I also think that it's worthy of parody and
you can riff on it.
Yeah, I think it's fine to riff on.
Yeah. I don't think it's as bad as some people still pretend it is. I think it was bad for the time.
But everything they, like, you know, quote unquote said about it in this Treehouse of Horror was very funny to me.
Very.
So yeah, I like that. Okay, so, and then my next question was, what do you think of the meta commentary on Godzilla movies?
It's so good. I don't know if you were watching me, but my jaw dropped when I saw just the board meeting. Well, it's so cheap and goofy. Let's exploit this.
Yeah. I was looking over.
And I was like, oh my god, this is the smartest Simpsons episode I've ever watched.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one.
And it... second best joke, we'll make millions after spending hundreds of it. I think it's it's so topical, especially right now for us, because we just had Godzilla -1 come out, and at first it was reported it had a $15 million budget.
Sounds like a lot.
And the director said he wished it was that much. And it's made about $50 million, so it's kind of making bank.
Yeah.
Based off of just word of mouth. But the American Godzilla movies are like the $100 million range.
Yeah, those are very expensive movies.
Like the legendary ones. I enjoy them. Like Godzilla vs. Kong is a movie I think is like the best popcorn movie.
I've only seen the first two, plus Kong Skull Island.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the Godzilla vs. Kong. That's the one I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Not that I won't, I just haven't.
Yeah. I think it's very good. It's 100% like popcorn theater.
That's fine.
Where something like a -1 is a war biopic about PTSD. So that's the difference between like what you can do with Godzilla.
If you can't, maybe I might even see it by myself. I don't see a lot of movies by myself, but I really want to see it. And our local theater has it, and our local theater just started doing these like special type movies.
Yeah.
Like our local theater has the new Ghibli movie, and it's never ever done stuff like that.
I would love to do that as like a double feature day.
Yeah.
Do the Ghibli movie and Godzilla.
We saw like all four of us went and saw the Ghibli movie in Morgantown, like on Monday.
Yeah.
Because we just assumed that Tiger wouldn't get it, and then it had it. I'm like, shit.
Godzilla -1 was supposed to be out of theaters already, but because it's making so much money, they extended it to December 21st.
And then also there was the meta joke, the Godzilla will return once people have forgotten about the last one.
That was funny. I also liked the when we were watching it, and I said that's a great reference. Him wiping his face. So what that was. And now that I see that they're also doing like a meta commentary, it makes even more sense. Because Godzilla releases, originally it's, in Japan it's Gojira. Mm-hmm. When it comes over to America, they change the title Godzilla King of the Monsters, and they intersplice, they add new scenes of a white main character into it, so that white people in America would go see it. And that's what they're referencing right there, is this white dude who kind of seems out of place, like wiping his face off screen, where all the main Japanese characters are actually doing the movie stuff.
I think I've heard that before, yeah.
And I was like, I was so shocked. I shouldn't have been, because Simpsons does its homework when it comes to references.
Yep.
But I was like, that is so funny to me.
And did you think what did you think of the sequel bait?
I want it.
Yeah, I want it bad.
I want it so bad it hurts.
Maybe next year. Maybe if -1 makes all the money, maybe next year for Treehouse of Horror they'll do another Godzilla.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Jumping to characters, and we only really have one to talk about, which is Homer as Godzilla. Which I think we don't talk... When we talk about Homer, we talk about the obesity, we talk about the alcoholism, we talk about the abuse, but we don't always talk about anger. And anger is actually one of his key characteristics, and it just fits Godzilla so well.
I am the rage of the Japanese people. I demand donuts.
And it's usually anger over things happening that he can't control or doesn't understand, and Godzilla in this is like getting pissed off because he's stepping on things and like, fucking hurts my foot. He's just raging. So
go to the farmland.
Yes, our country is 98% rural.
I want to get sushi at 5 a.m.
Yeah, I know why you're in the city, because it's the only place to get tuna rolls at 5 a.m. I get it, but you have fishy breath.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that was also pretty funny.
So I actually saw an episode recently that I just want. It's an actual episode that I want you to watch. It's it's where Bart gets institutionalized as a sociopath. I think you really just need to watch it.
That sounds amazing.
It is really good.
We're a Simpsons podcast now.
He finds the diary of a serial killer, and he starts like reading it, and he's like, I love reading. And it just
they should do a little let the right one in with Bart.
Yeah, I could see that.
Which girl would they use? Or boy? Just use Millhouse. Use girl Millhouse.
I don't know. Well, maybe. We'll talk about that on the next thing.
Okay.
I'll kill you all! I'll drive you crazy, and I'll kill you all! I'm every nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
Okay, scary shit, where if you haven't listened to these before, it's not scary, so instead we talk about the best joke and the worst joke. For me, it's easy. Because the first time I watched it, I was like, you can see the neckline.
Yeah.
I was like, that kind of looks like a costume. And then he falls off the stage, and I just like died.
That was so good.
So that's my best joke.
That's my best joke.
My worst joke is something I didn't notice the first time I watched it. In the classroom scene, Miss Hoover has on the chalkboard 4 types of sushi, and the subtypes are like icky, stinky, yucky, disgusting. I'm just like, don't knock sushi, you bad people.
I didn't notice that, so
yeah,
that's also my worst joke now. Sushi's good.
Yeah, sushi's like my favorite.
I also really liked the let's badly dub laugh at Grandpa.
Yeah, I just like them making fun of Grandpa. 4 sushi groups: icky, ucky, ookie, and gross. So
yeah,
and I know a lot of. I think most people who say they don't like sushi haven't tried it.
Yeah. The only people that I kind of give... Because I don't like seafood generally, but I like sushi.
I'm just a big seafood guy, but...
I think before that, my worst joke was probably like the Hollywood rollout. They weren't bad jokes, but like compared to like the actual Godzilla jokes I was getting.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything that's like horrendously bad in this one.
No, this is another really solid one.
Yeah.
Kiss me, fat boy.
So Kiss Me, Fat Boy. We've got Marge and Kimiko, who, if you don't know, that's Comic Book Guy's wife. She appears in this episode. And they're both now that they're in like a quote unquote parody of a Japanese piece of media. Can we officially call them waifus?
I was calling them waifus before, so yes.
Yes, but now, okay. Can we call them waifus without the hardcore weebs getting mad at us?
I think that, yes. Especially now that we also got the Death Tome episode.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I think we have enough. We can do that. They can be waifus now.
I need to rewatch that one and see if Kimiko appears in that episode. I don't remember her in it, but
It's sort of a missed opportunity.
I don't remember Comic Book Guy in that one.
I think that comes down to when Lisa was killing people and they were random instead of Springfield characters, that's one of those criticisms. Mm-hmm. Is that part of that's just the animation quality was so good that they were like, we can't reimagine every single one of these characters.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, but I'd like to see them do it again.
Yeah. I just watched an episode where Lisa joins an all-female app development team, and they're trying to prove that women coders are just as good as male coders. And they decide that they want to hire a man onto the team so that they don't appear to be sexist, and they hire comic book guy.
Is he better than all of them?
No, he's not. But they set him. They give him a tiny little desk in the corner away from all of them. And Lisa comes in. She's like, "Why is he sitting over there?" Because everything I say offends them.
He's just like me.
And the response is from one of the female coders, "Who are you calling they?"
Comic book guy is my spirit animal.
Yeah, he's pretty great.
Oh my god, are you Stephen King? No, I'm Dean Koontz. Oh.
Kings and Koontz. I'll let you go first.
The meta commentary, just the turning it from like a normal parody into a meta commentary caught me so off guard. It's great.
So that I was thinking about that, but I don't think I appreciate it as much as you. I do love Godzilla, but I'm not as big a fan as you are.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say actually the visuals. I love the black and white. I love the Japanese costumes.
Very good.
I love just like they have so
Bart
much
glasses.
Yeah, and Lisa in the sailor suit. They have a lot going on in the background that you don't even like acknowledge.
Oh, I love seeing like Principal Skinner getting torn up by kaiju vulture mom.
Yeah, his mom Agnes Skinner. Yep, I have that in Zombie Day, so we'll come back to it. Okay, cool. And then my Koontz is still just the sushi joke. I don't know. Sushi's great. Screw you.
Yeah, it's kind of weak.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Rankings. It's pretty high.
It's my number 1.
I think it's my number 2.
Yeah, so.
It's real good.
Something finally beat Death Tome.
Yeah. I think it's very similar to Death Tome.
Yeah.
It shows like a real understanding of the source material.
Yeah.
And somebody who wrote this is a fan of Godzilla, just like whoever wrote Death Tome has read or watched Death Note, and
yeah,
you can really see that.
Yeah, you can feel the love on the page, as they say.
Yeah, it's
or
great.
on the screen in this case.
It's so good. And I also loved it when Bart called Grandpa-san, which makes no sense, but is just funny.
All of that was fun. I loved when Grandpa died and went to go hang out with other Grandpa, and he seppukus himself.
That is Marge's dad. He does not show up very often.
Wow.
She actually has she has PTSD, and it actually became like there was an episode where she had to see a psychiatrist, and it was like a buried memory, but she went to see her dad at work, and he had told her that he was a pilot. Wow. And it turns out that he was a male steward, and she like went on the plane to see him fly the plane, and he was serving peanuts, and it just goes like and it became like this huge repressed thing. There's nothing wrong with a man being a flight attendant, but it's just
yeah, it's funny,
but it's just like it's
I think it's funny. That sounds really funny. Maybe I actually like The Simpsons.
Yeah. Zombie Day, just a couple random things. There's this Mr. Sparkle billboard in the background. Mr. Sparkle's the iconic. There's an episode where Homer's at the dump and he finds a box of Japanese laundry detergent with his face on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very...
I'm pretty sure I know who Agnes Skinner's supposed to be.
That was actually from an episode from the previous season where this is a big YouTube clip. It's the Studio Ghibli YouTube clip. And in that, she appears as that character from Spirited Away, the bird.
I thought they were making a giant claw reference.
I mean, I could be wrong.
I don't see it. I haven't seen the episodes of The Simpsons that you have, so you know.
Okay, homework. You're in charge of the sequel, Homerzilla, War of the Monsters. Fill out some kaiju cast with Springfield residents.
Okay, so Flanders is going to be King Kong, and him and Homer are finally gonna fight.
I'll watch it.
Yeah,
I will watch it for sure.
That's my big one. I probably make Principal Skinner like one of the most like feckless kaijus out there. Like he'd be an Anguirus or a Rodan, just something to get bodied by Homer. Mm-hmm. Or the T-Rex that King Kong is always like ripping the jaw out of.
Yeah.
Marge would be Mothra, and she would have sexy moth wings.
So I was going to say Mr. Burns would be Mothra, because it's a joke that he's super slow. And just, I feel like whenever I've seen like an old Godzilla movie, like Mothra just always moves like super slow.
Yeah.
And I picture Lenny and Carl as the two little...
Oh, the twins?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Mo might make a better King Kong just in terms of his face.
Yeah. Very ape-like.
Yeah.
Big. I could see that. What is the... I don't remember the name. I know it has a name. But in the American name of the movie was Godzilla versus the Sea Monster.
Ebera.
Ebera. Okay.
Yeah.
Ebera's the sea captain.
That's pretty good.
Just cuz.
Daniel's encyclopedic knowledge of giant monster kaiju.
I remember like the first, like my brother and I used to watch that movie all the time as kids.
Same.
And I remember the first time I watched it, I don't know, like high school, middle school, and like we had it on VHS, so it was dubbed, and just sitting there watching it, and like this dialogue makes no sense. Were they even watching the movie when they were recording the dialogue?
I watched that in grade school. I had a VHS that I wore out.
No, we did too. We got our mom bought us 3 Godzilla VHSs in grade school, and we watched it a ton in grade school, and then we took a break, and then like later middle school or high school we watched it again, and that was when we didn't realize how bad the dub was until we watched it when we were older.
A fun fact, that was supposed to be King Kong and not Godzilla. Which is why they use lightning to wake him up, and he has like an infatuation with a woman in the movie. Just some trivia for you that I know off the top of my head.
Okay, cool. And the last one I had, Mechagodzilla is going to be Homer's estranged brother, Herb.
Okay.
Who appeared twice, once in season 2 and once in season 3, and was played by Danny DeVito.
I want that. Bring that back.
Danny DeVito won't do it again.
Why?
I don't know, because he's got better shit to do, but they've tried. He won't come back, and they won't bring the character back without him.
He's too busy being in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
I don't know. He owned like a car company, and he let Homer design a car, and he went bankrupt. He went bankrupt because Homer designed a stupid car.
That's so great.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, you're unlocking hidden memories.
That's season 2. That's like 1991.
Because they did a commercial, and in the commercial, Homer says something about driving with the air conditioning and the windows roll down.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Okay. For further reading, I have one of my favorite segments, Treehouse of Horror 3, King Homer, which is the Simpsons King Kong parody, where of course Homer plays King Kong and Marge is the woman, and I want them to do another one where King Homer fights Homerzilla.
That's also good.
Yeah, I would love that. And then also, if you haven't seen it, Bambi versus Godzilla, it's on YouTube. Just watch it right now.
Yeah, it's short.
And we have an episode on it, but you don't even really need to worry about that. Just watch the short. It's great. Okay, so upcoming on the Horror of Babylon, this Sunday we have a double feature episode where we review both film adaptations of Let the Right One In. And then the next Sunday is the first Sunday in January. So we are back on the Dark Tower, and we are starting the formal Dark Tower with The Gunslinger by Stephen King.
Pew pew.
Pew pew pew. And then on January 4th, we are wrapping up the Blade-a-thon with everybody's favorite, Blade Trinity. Best Blade movie. No, I'm kidding. Thank you to our patrons, Abigail the First, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, and
Logan,
the Full Metal Patron, and Ben the Fourth, Patron of Hope, and Mia the Fifth, the Rainmaker.
She makes it rain.
And thank you to Horsemen Comics and Gaming, which you can visit at the Morgantown Mall in Morgantown, West Virginia, the Mall at Robinson in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Springfield Prefecture in Japan, and you can shop online at shop.forestmancomics.com. And if you make it in, say hello to Ronald III, Grampus of Christmas, who is just a real nice dude. He's a real nice guy. All right, thank you for watching Homerzilla and recording with me tonight.
I want to watch it again.
If you want, we can watch it again.
Maybe after we're done recording.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned for our socials. Thank you to our patrons, and stay scary.
Stay scary, everybody.
And now for the obligatory socials. Please like, share, and subscribe. You can find the podcast on Twitter at HorrorPod69. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Slasher, and Goodreads. Become part of the Disturbed community by asking for the Facebook group and Discord links. Send dick pics to the Horror of Babylon podcast at gmail.com. Support the show at patreon.com/the Horror of Babylon. In closing, you can let your friends know that The Horror of Babylon is available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Audible, and all other major podcast apps. Stay scary.